So come rain, shine, come rain, shine, whatever the weather, I've got to get out on the bike. Well, good evening everybody. Island Biker here on an absolutely stunning evening. It is looking gorgeous and it's pretty toasty as well. Bike says 32. It's been sat in the sun for a while. Currently it's 5:45 in the evening and I wanted to come out for a quick 20-minute ride to try and get some air circulating around my body. It is toasty and I'm not complaining, not after the winter we've had. Which will bring me to the point of this particular vlog, which is really to focus on commuting and my luggage woes, but more about that in a minute. What I'd like to lead off with is a huge thank you to all of you that have subscribed. You may remember from my first video that essentially when I recorded that I had 4 subscribers. I have now got 5 times the number of subscribers. I've got 20. So thank you. Lots of people have commented, appreciate that, thanks very much. Makes all this, you know, a bit more interactive, which I like. Again, thanks for those that have subscribed, thanks for those that have watched. 140 odd people, or 140 views anyway. I'm chuffed a bit, absolutely bowled over, thank you. Right, so what am I talking about this evening? Well, I want this vlog to be a little bit more focused and structured. The last video was very much an introduction and a test whilst going for a ride, and this one is a bit more topical for me. So I mentioned commuting, something I'm sure lots of people do, and this video isn't to say what's best, what's right, what's wrong, or anything else. I'm simply going to tell you what I do, because I think my situation is a little bit unique. In that, I live on an island, and I work on a bigger island. I think most people call that the mainland. So currently, my commute to work involves 2 motorcycles and a hovercraft, which is quite a cool way of getting to work. I'll grant you that. The novelty does soon wear off, and I'll say for the start of this video, I don't own said hovercraft. Hello bus, we're all coming through here, plenty of space. So, let me give you a bit of history. Up until about 2.5 years ago, I lived and worked in Southeast Asia, Brunei to be specific. And that contract ended end of 2015. So here we are, 2.5 years later on the Isle of Wight. Now the big thing that put me off this decision initially was the commute. Now we're not cut off by any means. We're 3 miles away from the mainland, 3 miles of water, 3 miles of, I think, one of the busiest shipping lanes in the world, leads into Portsmouth Harbour and Southampton. We've got a number of options, and I think I explored all of those in the first 3 months of 2016. I tried walking, a catamaran and a train, and then some more walking. And none of the trains or the catamarans tied up. All the timings were, if you were going into central London, it'd be perfect, but I'm not. When that didn't work out so well, because it was taking me about 2.5 hours of commuting each way, 5 hours a day, I thought, oh no, I'll buy a push bike and I'll cycle. I would cycle down to the catamaran, take the bike on the catamaran, cycle to the train station, and cycled out of the train station to work. So that brought me down to probably 1.5 hours, best case, each way. So I got 3 hours. And I did that for about 6 weeks. before it just got ridiculous. I felt like I was commuting all the time. Now the obvious choice is to buy a car to keep on the mainland, which is brilliant, but you then have to buy a car to keep on the mainland. So then a cunning plan developed. And that was to buy a scooter. So I thought I'll buy a 50cc, keep it the other side. I got a mate who'll look it up for me, brilliant. Couldn't buy a 50cc scooter, could I? Had to buy a 125 scooter, so I did my CBT. That's when I caught the bug. Walking down to the hoverport, getting on a hovercraft, not the ferry, and then getting on a scooter to the other side, and boom, hour and 10 minutes. So in the period of about probably 4 or 5 months, I'd gone from a 5-hour a day commute to about a 2 hours and 20 minutes a day commute. That was huge. That was the time I was getting back. I grant you it's still a lot. And then I completely understand there are lots of people who have that as their daily commute. I'm all about improving my situation in any way I possibly can. So that's what I did. So I went, I'm going to buy a bike. I'm going to buy a bike with the gears. I had to learn how to ride a geared bike. That's where YouTube comes in. I learned gears off YouTube and practice and lots of stalling and probably destroying a clutch, I don't know. But the bike I bought was a Yamaha FJR1300. It was brand new and I loved it. Now bearing in mind I'm on a CBT, I can't use motorways. So my commute that side is about 50 minutes. My commute this side is about 4 minutes, and I've got roughly a 15-minute journey to get across the water in between. And I'm thinking, I want to do my big bike license. And that was always going to happen. The minute I sat on a scooter, I knew I was going to end up on a big bike. So I sold the scooter, and I part X'd, said, a little bike, the 125, in for a Tracer 700, which I still have today. And that's a lot of bike. But I'm down to one bike, but I'm allowed to go on the motorway. So my commute on that side is somewhere in the region of 20 minutes. My commute this side is a walk down to the hoverboard, which took me also 20 minutes, and then a 15-minute crossing in between. But I'm down to just over an hour commuting. This is brilliant. I'm at 2 hours. And then I thought, well, what's going to finish this off is another bike. So I bought this, my FJR1300. And normally she lives in my mate's lockup on the other side, and I keep the Tracer this side. And my commute door to door is about 45 minutes if I get the right hovercraft and I'm not hanging around for too long. And that's how I became riding motorcycles. But it doesn't really end there, does it? Because I tend to find that if I'm focusing on something, I want to make it as good as I can. And when I've made it as good as I can, I find something else to make that better instead. This brings me on to my luggage woes. First world problems, I get that. So that's where this tank bag comes in. It's just a Yamaha tank bag. I'm not here to review gear at the moment. This is just telling you what I've got and what I think kind of works. And I'm not there yet. But this clicks on both bikes. I bought the adapter ring for both bikes. I click it off this one, click it on that one. Absolutely brilliant. Got a laptop in there, got a clean shirt and trousers in there. Spare undercrackers and stuff. I've got a locker at work for all of that. I'm good. Up until the point they give me a bigger laptop. Doesn't fit in this bag. I've got big old panniers on this thing. I've got a pannier insert bag. So naturally I just carry that. I've got a V47 Givi top box on the Tracer. I put the insert bag in that, get over on the other side, stick it in the pannier on the bike, into work I go. And currently, that seems to work. However, to fit the V47 top box on the Tracer, I had to strip off the existing panniers. And I'll be perfectly honest, I'm not particularly devastated with that. They weren't very good panniers. Chocolate Fireguard comes to mind. They're not waterproof, so they come with these dry bags, these canoe bags, which are really, really good generally, except the ones that Yamaha seem to sell with the kit were made from reinforced titanium, because do they fold up? No, not even close. It's like folding wood. So by the time you've put a pair of pants and a pencil, you've basically filled the pannier. So strip those off, put the V47 top box on, very happy with that. And I kind of switch them in between the bikes. I've got the same rack on this bike, the Monarchy rack on this, and it just works. So when I say luggage woes, they're not really luggage woes. I'm all about interchanging between the two bikes. I think that's what I want. Anyway, I feel like I've waffled on at a massive rate of knots about all of this luggage and commuting. Just a gorgeous road. You gonna let me go? You could have done. Thank you very much. Just look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Why wouldn't you be out in it? So to round up this one then, I think I just want to say, again, thank you to all of those kind comments, likes on my Facebook page, and the extra subscribers that have subscribed. I appreciate that. I tell you what, it makes it worth it. You know, when you make something and you get that kind of acknowledgement. So again, thank you. You can find me on Instagram at island_biker. Go and find my Facebook page, Island Biker, and throw that a like. I'm also on Twitter, and I'm also on YouTube. So please click the link to subscribe. I hope you all have a good week. I'll catch you all later. Bye bye.